Akasagarbha Bodhisattva then rose from his seat, prostrated himself with his head at the feet of the Buddha, and declared, "When the Tathagata and I were with Daipamkara Buddha and realized our boundless bodies, I held in my hands 4 big precious gems, which illumined all Buddha lands in the 10 directions, as uncountable as dust, and transmuted them into the absolute void. Then my own mind appeared like a great mirror, emitting 10 kinds of mysterious precious light, which penetrated the 10 directions, reaching the boundaries of space, and causing all pure lands of Buddhas to enter the mirror, and then to intermingle freely with my own body, which was just like unobstructed space. Then my body could enter perfectly as many samsaric countries as there are grains of dust to carry out far and wide the Buddha works of salvation, so that universality could prevail everywhere. This great transcendental power derived from my close inquiry into the 4 elements, which had nothing real to rely upon, and into false thinking that rose and fell alternately and ended in nothingness. I realized the non-duality of space and the sameness of the Buddha's pure lands and samsaric worlds, thereby achieving the patient endurance of the uncreate. As the Buddha now asks about the best means of perfection, according to my own experience, the best consists in the close examination into boundless space, leading to entry into samadhi and perfecting thereby the mysterious spiritual power. Maitreya Bodhisattva then rose from his seat, prostrated himself with his head at the feet of the Buddha, and declared, "I still remember that in the remotest of eons, as uncountable as the dust, there was a Buddha called Chandra Surya Pradipa, who appeared in the world to convert others. I followed him to leave home. However, I still cherished worldly fame and liked to mix with noble clans. Then the Tathagata taught me how to practice dhyana meditation on the mind's consciousness in order to realize the state of samadhi. Ever since the following eons, I have used this samadhi to serve Buddhas as many as the sands of the Ganges, thereby eliminating completely my previous mind set on worldly fame. When Daipamkara Buddha appeared in the world, under his instruction, I realized the consciousness-perfecting supreme samadhi of the mind, which enabled me to perceive that all Tathagata stores and samsaric worlds, purity and impurity, and existence and non-existence, were but appearances caused by my own mind's transformations. World-honored one, because of my clear understanding that only the mind's consciousness was the cause of all externals, I perceived an unlimited number of Tathagatas coming out of the nature of consciousness. Hence the Buddha's prophecy that I shall be his successor. As the Buddha now asks about the best means of perfection, my opinion is that the best consists of close examination into all appearances which are created by consciousness only, in order to perfect the conscious mind, thereby realizing complete reality and ensuring non-reliance on externals and the breaking of all attachments caused by discrimination, thereby achieving the patient endurance of the uncreate. Mahastama, a son of the Dharma king, who was the head of the group of 52 bodhisattvas, rose from his seat, prostrated himself with his head at the feet of the Buddha, and declared, "I still remember that in the remotest of eons, countless as the sands of the Ganges, there was a Buddha called Amitabha, who was succeeded by 11 other Tathagatas in that kalpa. The last one was called the Buddha whose light surpassed that of the sun and moon. He taught me how to realize the state of samadhi by thinking exclusively of Amitabha Buddha. By way of illustration, if a man concentrates his mind on someone else while the latter always forgets him, both may meet and see, but without recognizing each other. However, if both are keen on thinking of each other, their keenness will grow from one incarnation to another until they become inseparable like a body and its shadow. The Tathagatas in the 10 directions have compassion for all living beings and always think of them like a mother who never ceases thinking of her son. If the son runs away, her thoughts of him will not help. But if he also thinks of her with the same keenness, they will not be separated in spite of the passing of transmigrations. If a living being remembers and thinks of the Buddha, he is bound to behold him in his present or future incarnation. He will not be far from the Buddha, and thus, without the aid of any other expedient, his mind will be opened. He is like a man whose body, perfumed by incense, gives out fragrance. Hence his name, one glorified by Buddha's fragrance and light. From my fundamental cause ground, and with all my thoughts concentrated on the Buddha, I achieved the patient endurance of the uncreate. This is why I help all living beings of this world to control their thoughts by repeating the Buddha's name so that they can reach the Pure Land. As the Buddha now asks about the best means of perfection, I hold that nothing can surpass the perfect control of the 6 senses with continuous pure thoughts in order to realize samadhi.